I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all phase two black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. I'm sorry, I had to bring it down a few notches because I'm not feeling that well today. Today has been a day, boy. My body is aching, and my throat, I'm just getting over a sore throat. So, yeah, today, oh my goodness. Y'all know I had that series, Everybody Hates Kadlac, because that is the character that I most was able to relate to because it's like trying to do good, trying to be good, trying to be the best person you could be, trying to have the best behavior, trying to love people the way you want to be loved, to treat people the way you want to be treated. And I get nothing but dumped on. Like I get hate for love. I get for trying to do the right thing, I get more bad stuff happen to me. So it's like I never felt like I got what I deserved in life. And you have those little crazy, that little shadow on my face, those little sayings, reap what you sow, um, you do unto others as you would have them do unto you, so that like you treat people the way you want to be treated so that you can be treated the way you would like to be treated. And I don't know, it'd be like a bad day of opposite day. Nice to people and reaping. So that's how most of my life had been. And y'all know I found out that I'm an empath. Um, I've been watching a lot of Chosen One content, and everything that they say honestly pertains to me. Where it's like we have these lives and we go through the most. And it's like, why? You see people that clearly are horrible people. They don't try, they don't, none of that, but they get the best. And so for a while, it feels like that little bad negative energy spirit has been gone from me. It hasn't been just always like bothering me. And I do remember when I worked in the super center, this guy prophesized. Well, I don't know if it's prophecy, but he said he's seen a dark cloud over my head, and it always felt like that. And it's just me. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling that good. It's just me. Like the cloud would just be over my head. Everyone else, whether they were being good or not, or doing the right thing, they would get good results. But me trying to do the right thing, I would always get bad stuff happen. And it happened everywhere I went. And that's pertaining to that dark cloud over my head. That's why, because it was a cloud over just my head. So it seemed like that had kind of went away for a while, but today was one of those days, and I hadn't had one of them days in a long time. So it really just shook me. So I am sick from two different things. My granddaughter, I had her in the bed with me, and she had a runny nose, and I didn't realize she just kept wiping her nose all over my covers. And I didn't know that that's what she was doing until later when I got up because I was so sleepy. I got up and I'm like, you got, stuff all over your nose, baby girl. I wiped her nose off and then had her blow her nose and she was fine. Went on to sleep. She would not let me sleep that day. So she must have been feeling sick. So because I guess the germs were in the bed at that point, I did take my bed sheets off and wash them and stuff like that. So, but I guess I still got sick. And then we went to the Black History read-in on Sunday, and it was a bad weather day. I don't know what type of weather that was. It was cold and it was rainy. So we went there. Wasn't yet feeling sick, and Princess wasn't like she wasn't sick because y'all seen her jumping around and stuff. But at the end of the event, she pukes. But that babies do puke. But she's an older baby now, so she doesn't puke as much. So I'm like, okay, so she must be sick. But she pukes it all over me. So it's all down my shirt. I clean myself up. So now I got, oh, the ice cream truck. I used to have a song about that. Every time I try to come to the park and just chill with my daughter, the ice cream truck would drive by. It was like sometimes I wanted to do events or do things to spend time without spending money. Like, can we ever spend time without spending money? And here comes the ice cream truck. And she would always want something. And then she got all the kids at the playground. Hey, mom. I guess she was telling them that her mom was going to buy them something. This girl, sorry, that threw me off. But, yeah, so she had got, well, I think she started feeling better. Hold on a second, guys. So, back to the story. So that's how I started. Sorry, I started getting like sick like a couple days later. With the congestion and stuff like that. So I didn't feel too sick though the last couple of days. So today I go and I'm getting up for work. Y'all know I don't just I do too much and it's wearing me down. It's wearing me down. And I was a tough one. I'm a tough one, but I'm getting worn out. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't just get myself ready. I have to go and help my sister. I'm caregiver to my sister. So I let her take a shower and then I take my shower. I really did not feel like getting up out the bed because the whole night, like I literally could not sleep, and it was like my hands hurt so bad. They were achy and ringing and stuff like that, and waking me up because I do have carpal tunnel nerve damage and all of that stuff. So I couldn't sleep really good. So I get up. I finally let my sister get ready. I get ready. Um, and then I didn't have a uniform. So I'm like, man, I need to wash my uniform. I get in the laundry room and I realize my sister, I don't know why she washes on the longest cycle. She literally will be washing a load of clothes for 2 hours. So I get up, I go in the laundry room and I'm like, oh wow, I don't have my uniform and I need to wash it because I know I'm not going to get to work on time enough to, get another uniform. So I washed my uniform and I at first when I came to look at the washer machine, it only had 18 minutes. So I'm like, oh, okay, so good. At least she's not washing for 2 hours, or she probably already did and it just passed. So I'm like, okay, so that means I could go help her get ready and then I can come back, wash my clothes. This is what I hate when you take stuff out the dryer and it's wet. So whoever put in their load didn't see if it was dry and it was still wet. So what they do to me is they just take my wet clothes out, throw them somewhere, and that's it. So I try to be considerate of everybody. And I know how it feels when they do that to me and I don't like it. So I try not to do it to them. So what I did was restarted that load of laundry. And then when my sister's laundry stopped in the washer, I went ahead and I put it in a plastic bag. And what I was going to do was let that second round go. And then once that was done and dry, put my sister's clothes in the dryer Because she comes out and she's like, "What are you doing? My clothes are wet." And I'm like, "I know, but I need a uniform." So I'm putting them in the washer. I have to call y'all back. It's your girl, Kadlac. Like, I run, I let my sister get ready, and then I get ready, and then I come back to put her clothes in the dryer. And I took my wet uniform out, and I just put my uniform on because I don't have time to let it dry. And so I'm ready to leave. So I'm like, I jumped through all them dang on hoops. I do way too much. It's too much. It's too much on me. It's too much on my shoulders. I and I do it barely. Barely do I keep it together. And with barely keeping it together, it's a major juggling act. It is so hard to barely keep it together. And I keep saying I want to just let it all go. Just let go. And whatever happens, you lose your car, you lose your house, you lose whatever you lose, just freak it because nothing never works out to where you're not barely making it. I want to let go so bad. So I do all of that, let her get ready, I get ready, get my uniform on. And then I realize I don't even have my badge to clock in for work. And I'm like, why don't I have my badge? So at this point, I had about 5 or 6 minutes to find it before I'm going to be late because I have to I live minute to freaking minute because I'm trying to fill my day with too many things, too many tasks. God, just need a break. Can't find it. I'm rummaging through my car. I can't find it in my car. Go in the room. I can't find it in my room. I flip my bed over because I thought maybe it fell on the side of the bed. I can't find the badge. So I'm thinking I left it somewhere else. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have to get a new badge. But they charge you for a new badge. A new badge is $10 to clock in. So I'm like, I'm late now and I got to pay $10 for a badge at this point. So I get through all of that, get my badge, get to work. I'm like 50 minutes late to work. And it's been like lately, y'all know the issues that I tell you about my hands. I couldn't even feel my hands last night. And it's because I have the carpal tunnel. So the job knows that. So they try to accommodate me sometimes. Like for the last few months, since November, I have paperwork on file that I have carpal tunnel. I have this. I have that. So the one thing that I ask is not to constantly be on the register because the register was what was hurting me. And of course, for some reason, the register is the only thing that nobody, nobody wants to ever do. So it was just because nobody wants to ever do it, it was just best that Keita always does it. I'm like, this is the one thing that freaking hurts me the most. Because I always have pain because my hands are gone. I mean, I have a little ability in them, but for the most part, they're gone. The strength in them, my veins are, they're gone. I can't hardly do anything with them. And if I can, I can't do it for a long period of time. So for the longest, they have been accommodating me, like not really putting me on the register, putting me other places, having me do other things. So because when one manager comes and one leaves, things always like shift back. So this manager is telling me get on the register, get on the register. And no, first I got to work and my badge wouldn't even work. It wouldn't even swipe the register. So I'm thinking, wow, okay, so now thank God there's no chance of me getting on the register. They found a way for me to still keep getting on the register. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not even supposed, they were supposed to be accommodating me. I don't understand why I'm getting back on this register. Like from nowhere, I'm getting back on the register already. And I already feel horrible. It wasn't like my hands were feeling good. My hands are numb. And so I'm constantly getting on the register. My back hurts. I had to stop going to chiropractic care because I worked my whole life and I don't have any money. Like, I don't know where that makes sense to work as much as you have in your life and not have a thing to show for it. I don't have anything. I won't even be able to retire. I don't even have a retirement fund. I don't have nothing. Work my whole life to have nothing. My God, if I knew 20 years ago that my life was never going to be getting out of the rut, I was always from 20 to now 42, going on 43. I was going to struggle my whole entire life. Sorry. If I knew I was going to struggle my whole entire life, do you know there's so many things I would have done different? I wouldn't have tried to do nothing else. I just would have worked at the bottom. I would have stayed at the bottom. I would have sat down at the bottom and been okay with being at the bottom because I wouldn't have worked so hard to not be at the bottom, but to work so hard your entire goddamn life and still be at the bottom is running me crazy. I know I'm never gonna get that. I'm not gonna get no. I'm never gonna be monetized because it's taking too goddamn long. I'm spending all this time with this. I'm not gonna never get that darn business off the ground, that graphic design business. I got to face reality, and I ain't gonna never break Marcello's story. I'm so tired of trying. I am so tired of trying. Because really, it's trying in vain. Nothing is moving me closer. Nothing is getting me out of just barely surviving. So I'm at work. I can't hardly stand up. I had to stop chiropractic because I can't afford it. But my body is so ravaged and messed up that without it, I'm in pain. So my lower back, my lower vertebrae is just about bone on bone. So it causes me a lot of sciatic pain. It's hard for me to just stand up long periods of time. So I'm standing up in pain. I'm trying to feel my hands. I'm just tired of it. So then I'm feeling down and I go to lunch. My day is almost over. So I'm like, I'm going to lunch. At least I could just go home and just lay down and maybe tomorrow will be better. But I'm not even gonna hope that far because tomorrow's never better. It's never better tomorrow. It be the same struggle. Year after year after year after year after year. Don't matter how much hard work I put in it, don't matter what I do different. Year after year after year after year after year, struggle, 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 barely make it, make it, barely make it. Dang, I wish I can go back. I would have been the laziest person you ever could or would meet because doing stuff does not get you nowhere. I understand why people are lazy asses now and don't do nothing and don't try nothing. Don't go after nothing. For what? Why? Why go after anything if you never can achieve it? So I go and it's this one girl. I'm like, I know I'm in a bad headspace. So it's one girl that I listen to on TikTok. I'm like on my lunch, so I'm scrolling and she's usually so uplifting. She usually, you know, would say something in that perspective of feeling down it'll turn you around and it'll get your mind back on set for being positive so that you can work hard again. But you just at least now have that thought that things will get better, even though they never do. But you have that thought that keeps you going. That's the only thing gonna keep you going is the hope that things will get better, even though they never get better. So I go, I'm eating my food, and I just listen. I listen to TikTok. I listen to YouTube. Like honestly, on TikTok, nobody acknowledges me anyway. When I do be in people's lives and I'll say something, I'll say things. Y'all already know my hands barely freaking move. I barely can type. Nobody, I promise you, I'll say a million comments and nobody responds back to me. Nobody says, hey, Kadlac. Nobody says nothing. Boo, nothing. So I'm kind of accustomed to going into people's lives and just sit there and listen. If you're not going to interact with me anyway, I really don't understand why. What's the point of me interacting with you? If you're just, what's the point of me typing a comment you're going to ignore? And it hurts for me to type. So I'm actually giving you my energy, the little piece that I have, and you ignore it. You clearly don't see my comments ever or my hearts. I'm never acknowledged. A lot of them acknowledge only the people that are sending gifts or that are, paid for stuff. And I understand that because I understand they're creative. I'm trying to be a creative, so I would be so, I don't know. So I go in the live and I'm just listening. I'm like, oh, she's always so like uplifting. So maybe she gonna say something within this little 15 minutes break that's gonna get me back on the right foot. And what she does is she reads off everybody names. She reads Cadillac Dixon, Art for Justice, blah 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 blah. So she says it's 40 people in this live, which that alarmed me because I'm like, she usually have a whole bunch of people in her live, so it really don't be no point in commenting on her stuff because the comments are moving so fast that, and they don't respond to you anyway. So what is you know what I'm trying to say? So she reads my name off and other names, and she said, "Y'all are rude. That is a rude demon that just came into this live. Y'all came in and didn't even say hello." And so I type, I'm on, I'm at work. I can't really type at the moment. Like I literally have just a 15-minute break. I'm just listening to this while I'm trying to eat. But I didn't type all of that. I just, TikTok, you can't type all of that. So I just type, I'm at work. I can't really type. So after saying what she said, and my comment stayed right there at that spot, so I know she seen my comment, and she never like backtracked, was never like, oh my bad, or anything. So I said it again. I said, I'm at work though, and I can't really type. So she just goes on, I guess, like, I understand from her viewpoint of a creator, if somebody's watching your life, I guess she's taking it on that you're watching my life for free and you're not contributing anything. But not actually, because TikTok is giving her credit for people even being in her lives. That's boosting her lives. So by me watching your live, by me watching your comment, I understand it gets frustrating when people don't talk back to you, when you're asking questions and nobody is answering. It does get frustrating. But at least somebody is sitting there watching you. You could be a nobody like me, putting your all into this and not getting not hardly anything back. You could be me. So at least you got a whole bunch of other people that are watching that are still, interacting. I'm just here for a quick word to go back. So I'm like, wow. So I get the one time that they ever acknowledge me, I come in with a rude demon because I didn't say hello. I'm like, you know what? I keep trying to fight this. I keep trying to fight this because I know this can't be what God had for me. It can't be what God had for me to have to depend on a job, but can't even work the job, hardly because your body is messed up. And then after you put yourself through all that pain to make money, to barely pay your bills, you ain't got nothing left. Nothing. Man, I thought you was supposed to improve over time. I knew life was hard. I get that. But I didn't know in my 40s I still was going to be freaking struggling to no end. Alright, guys, I'm just gonna go. I got a headache. I'm gonna walk around for a minute at this park and then I'm just gonna go home and lay down. I don't think it's much point in me to keep trying. Nothing ever changes. Alright, guys, it's your girl Kadlac.